First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
We have some new leaked emails from Pfizer never before publicly seen. Ever since the vaccines dropped a year ago, people have been speculating that they may contain graphene oxide as an explanation for mysterious side effects that have been seen. A Spanish lab called La Quinta Columna claimed earlier this year to have found graphene oxide within a vaccine batch, as reported by Dr. Jane Ruby here on the Stu Peters Show. Now, though, we have internal emails that show how Pfizer discussed responding to questions about graphene oxide. And in those emails, Pfizer's reps admitted that there very well could be graphene oxide in these shots. They had no way of ensuring it wasn't tainting their ingredient supplies, and they did nothing to prevent it getting into the shots. They just said it wasn't on the ingredient list, and that was good enough for them. But then Stephen Hayes, a medical communications scientist with Pfizer, said that Pfizer should try and cover it all up. They should try to hide the truth. They should lie. Quote, if we have the ability to specifically omit it, we should. Melissa McAtee is a Pfizer whistleblower, and she joins us now. So I'm reading through this. This is a blatant cover-up. This is a scientist telling Pfizer's PR arm, lie to the public, do not disclose what's in these shots.
Yeah, and they've kind of been lying from the beginning, because as soon as I saw your Dr. Jane Ruby episode earlier this year is when I kind of started to dig and ask questions. And I emailed them directly and asked them, is graphene oxide in these vaccines? The day I watched your story with her, and they responded back the same day and said, no, there is no graphene oxide as an ingredient in the vaccine. And I left it alone and left it at that. And then I stumbled across these emails and the graphene oxide report from Spain in English, which isn't available to the public for some reason.
Why hasn't Pfizer come out and done a press conference? From the beginning of this thing, they have publicly said absolutely nothing. And there are millions of people questioning what is in these shots.
Yeah, they could clear all these theories up. They could just come forward with honesty and transparency, and us conspiracy theorists would have we wouldn't have anything to hold against them. But when they're being deceptive blatantly and hiding things and choosing to hide things from us, and then they wonder why we won't take the shot and we're willing to lose our jobs over it and our livelihoods. They could
Pfizer.
resolve it all just by coming out, and they don't.
You were in the manufacturing department. I mean, you literally put your hands on this stuff. How secretive was the environment, upper admin, and the big scientists there? I mean, did they want you to know what was in these vials?
No, they didn't. Usually as quality, we have access to like lists and descriptions of the product, and that wasn't available for a really long time. And when it did become available, the description doesn't match the actual product because it says it's clear to a very light yellow, when yes, that's true when it's on a white background in light, but if it's on a dark background, it glows blue. And so when I raised questions and I was getting it doesn't glow from people who are supposed to be able to answer these questions, it's very alarming. The security is ridiculous. They totally rerouted the plant so that people who didn't need to be involved with the product didn't even see its production. They made it to where you couldn't walk through certain areas.
If I had a thing that was going to stop or prevent or keep people protected from this big thing that supposedly was going to kill 24 million people in a very short period of time, I would be proud to tell everybody exactly what's in it and address the public on its contents. I would be happy to put a vaccine insert inside of the box so that people could get proper informed consent. But in today's day, where the only unreliable source that we have is the Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, and what makes it unreliable is that less than 1% of actual adverse events get reported. What makes it unreliable is that it's completely hidden, throttled, and suppressed information. But even that data tells us that close to 850,000 adverse events have been recorded, and almost 20,000 people have died in a 10-month period from one shot. That is more than double, almost 3 times the amount of people who died from every previous vaccine rolled out combined.
Yep.
And the media completely ignores it, and Pfizer will not do anything. What are these leaked emails that you're giving us now? First time public has ever seen it. What do these tell you about the way that Pfizer is operating from the inside out?
That I used to have hope that they weren't corrupt. I wasn't really against Big Pharma. But after I found all of these things, I learned. I guess I learned. It's like, when you're in denial and then the truth smacks you in the face, you get a choice to accept it or to deny it and continue to live in ignorance. And I couldn't deny it anymore. And when I saw these emails, I was like, so it is in there, or at very least can be in some. And at which case that's still alarming, because if it's killing people, wouldn't they care about that?
Look,
wouldn't they want to make sure it's well known so that people can do the proper things to prevent it and take care of it and stuff? But they don't. They suppress it and push it down and hope to not make a mess just by lying and being deceitful with their answers to the public and to their own employees.
Well, the mess that we have right now is that over 70% of so-called fully vaccinated, hospitalized patients over the age of 65, that's what they are, fully vaccinated. That's a mess. Okay? Israel, the most inoculated country on the face of the planet, also has virtually the highest COVID infection rate. That's a mess. We have nearly 20,000 reported dead people, and that number is probably immensely higher than that. And that's a mess. And now the new mess that we're creating is that these cult coronavirus death camp people are chasing down our kids as young as 5 years old. These shots are in the school nurse's office right now and have been given to kids without the consent or permission of parents. And in many cases, the parents don't have to give consent because they've signed waivers. These shots are going to get into the arms of unsuspecting kids, and those kids are going to die. There has already been kids dead as a result of myocarditis, aged 12 to 17 years old, 6 times more likely to experience a severe heart effect than they are to experience a serious illness from the so-called virus itself. The virus, I need not remind you, the chimerically engineered Tony Fauci's sociopathic, taxpayer-funded Wuhan lab intentionally released China virus. That one. That doesn't kill anybody. With virtually nobody. With their God-given immune systems, 99.989% of people beat this thing. But instead, we're going to force a shot on people, not tell anybody what's in it. And now there's proof right here from the mouth itself, from the monster, from the beast, from the murderer, the psychopaths over at Pfizer, that they're trying to intentionally cover it up with a PR stunt.
Yep.
This is insane. I've got about 30 seconds left. I'm going to give you the final words.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think that it's really odd to me that I've known far more people suffering from reactions to this vaccine than I knew anybody having any even somewhat more than mild COVID-19 symptoms. It's crazy to me. I know 3 people who have had horrible side effects from this vaccine, yet I only know 1 person who suffered from COVID-19.
And you were
just really odd to me in my smart bubble.
You personally saw these vials glowing blue, right? I mean, that's not normal.
No, not at all.
Melissa McAtee, your bravery is astounding. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you.
Thank you.
We didn't need any more proof that graphene oxide is in this bioweapon. We didn't need it. Multiple scientists have confirmed after examining these vials, yes, graphene oxide is in these shots. Multiple microscopy experts who have then in turn examined these vials have confirmed, yes, there is graphene oxide in these injections. Karen Kingston, a former Pfizer employee, a biotech analyst, brought patents, receipts that show, prove, graphene oxide is in this bioweapon. We didn't need any more proof that it's in there, but what this is proof of is that Pfizer is intentionally covering it up. They're intentionally lying and misleading you, the public, while they tell you that it would be criminal not to inject your kids with this mystery substance that has killed almost 3 times as many people in 10 months as every other vaccine in the history of the country. And you want to give this to your kids.
Пока выключен. Сейчас я набираю номер. Смотрите, что будет происходить. Вот он вызов пошел. Смотрите теперь. Вызов идет, если вы можете смотреть. Видите. Наверное. Интересно, в голове у нас то же самое творится. Когда я первый раз это обнаружил, все, я выключаю. Ну, пожалуйста, все. Так не действует ничего. Попробуем опять. Опять скажу, что противно. Все.
This is from newblart.com. I want to just read the first part of this to you. These people took a long time to break down the actual ingredients in the you-know-what. This information is being suppressed, they said. On August 20th, 2021, Dr. Robert Young published his team's findings after analyzing 4 dominant you-know-what using phase contrast microscopy, transmission and scanning electron microscopy, and energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy. Their findings both confirm and expand upon the prior investigations carried out by Dr. Pablo Campra, the University of this place in Spain, and this other guy. These findings are summarized in the table below. Before I go through this paragraph is super heavy, man. Many of these substances were observed as being bonded to graphene oxide nanoparticles. And guess what? The graphene oxide, here's the graphene oxide right here. Graphene oxide, was it in Pfizer? Yes. Was it in AstraZeneca? Yes. Was it in Johnson & Johnson? Yes. Was it in Moderna? Yes. Graphene oxide is in every single one of them, in the double dose and the single dose vials. Many of these substances were observed as being bonded to graphene oxide nanoparticles. GO nanoparticles are necrotic. They're able to pass into or through physiological barriers, including but not limited to the blood-air barrier, the blood-testes barrier, the blood-brain barrier, and the blood-placenta barrier. Yeah, that's something I want swimming around in me for the rest of my life. Because remember, guys, you have a choice. I'm not telling anybody what to do or what not to do. Get it if you want it. Don't get it if you don't want it. Nobody's got a right to mandate what you should or shouldn't do. But know this, when you get it in you, it ain't coming out. You can't escape this. Once it's in you for good. You have made the final decision. And the clock just starts ticking. What are those nanoparticles going to do? Where are they going to go? What's it going to adversely affect? You thought you did it to keep yourself safe. Why are you experiencing all these symptoms? Why is fibromyalgia going through the roof? Why is myocarditis happening? Why are these people having these pulmonary edemas and all these blood clots? What's going on? Where are they coming from? All these people who had no prior health conditions, no medical history, are all of a sudden checking themselves into the hospital because they have a heart condition. Young people having to get their hearts operated on after they bow down at the altar, Jabbo, and this isn't being reported every single night in mainstream media. So basically, it can cross the blood-air, blood-testes, blood-brain, and the blood-placenta barrier over a period of several months after intramuscular injection. As much as 75% of the GO nanoparticle delivery platform, and well said, because that's exactly what you see on Moderna. It's the program. It's the app. It's the software of life. It's the program, the app, the software of life. That's what they call it. They're going to plug that software into you and change your mainframe. Screw with your hard drive for the rest of your life. And then if you do make it past the 5-year mark, it's like, God, I'm having these horrible headaches and nobody's going to correlate that with the choice that they made 5 years previous to bow down at the altar of Jabba. You were perfectly fine, but you got sucked into the propaganda campaign and you start fearing something that wasn't really there because the government's got to have a boogeyman to blame it on to make you fearful, to employ the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. They create or co-opt a problem. God, it's 1984, SARS-CoV-2. Oh my God, it's going to kill us all. Reaction, oh my God, government, what do we do? Solution, bow down to Pfizer, bow down to Moderna, bow down to Johnson & Johnson. Get your gene-altering therapy. They call it a vaccine. I don't care if they call it a vaccine. I don't care what they call it. That's why I call it a VAXX. I'm not sure what it is. It doesn't matter because I don't want it in me. And guess what? I don't need a religious exemption or a medical exemption to say I don't want it in me. I'm a human being. I don't want it in me. You need to respect that. Just like I'll respect you if you decide to take it or not take it. And most of the substances listed below are transported extensively throughout the body's, wait till you see the list, into the blood, brain, and other organs. Some of them, and what do you think that's going to do to your organs? You think all this stuff, aluminum, bismuth, cadmium, calcium, carbon, fluoride, chlorine, chromium, copper, lead, do you think all that stuff is going to benefit your organs? People detox to get rid of this stuff. Aluminum. Give me a break. You know what they've associated aluminum with? Alzheimer's disease. I wonder if that's what's going on with the mental acuity of people these days. They're like, I mean, like, is there anybody home? What do you guys, I mean, I thought it was bad like 24 months ago before you guys started getting all these injections. People are they're getting weird. It's getting really weird by the day. That stuff's just swimming around, doing backstrokes in the liver. Hey, let's go to the lungs today. I think I gotta go to the hospital. They check into the hospital. The person with their little clipboard goes, okay, have you had the VAXX? Yeah, I've had both of them. Okay, how long ago? 11 days ago. Okay, then you're on VAXX. Hey, that's what the website says on the Cat Dog Cat, right? Cat Dog Cat says you are not considered fully VAXX until after 2 weeks, after the second dose, or 2 weeks after the single dose. If you don't meet these requirements, regardless of your age, you are not fully VAXXed. So they can technically say that this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and in reality, it'd be a pandemic of the fully vaccinated. Because they're not permitted to claim that you were VAXXed until the 15th day after your second dose. And that, my friends, is called fraud. That's called cooking the books. That's called rigging the game. These people, man. That was, by the way, this is from the CDC, guys. This is from the Centers for Disease Control. Why not have been fully VAXXed? In general, people are considered to be fully VAXXed 2 weeks after their second dose on a 2-dose series and 2 weeks after a single-dose vaccine such as Johnson & Johnson. If you don't meet these requirements, regardless of your age, you are not fully VAXXed. Oh boy, there's where the numbers come from. Why? Probably the graphene oxide. Some of the many toxic effects of graphene oxide are myocarditis and blood clotting. Have you won the National Lottery today? So here's the list. Pfizer and Moderna have aluminum, bismuth, Pfizer, cadmium, Moderna, calcium, Moderna, carbon, Moderna. You can see this. So you got fluoride, chlorine, chromium, copper, graphene oxide, every single one of them. Iron, every single one of them. I wonder why they don't have mercury. I don't see mercury here. Lead, magnesium, manganese, nickel, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, potassium, selenium. What if somebody's allergic to any one of these things right here? You know, there are people that are allergic, deathly allergic to penicillin. Has penicillin done some good? Looks like it might have. Can it kill other people? Yep. Dead is Tuesday morning, man. Silicon, sodium, sulfur, tin, titanium, trypanosoma, which they say is a parasite. Vanadium, In war, the first casualty is truth, and that includes the information war. Matter of fact, you have to have an information war before you can have any war. You have to hoodwink the people. You have to propagandize them. You have to deceive them so that you can justify the evil that you're about to do in the name of liberty and freedom and keeping the people safe.